I think there is a crack in our basic sense of identity. There is a constant need for validation because we don't believe we deserve to be validated. We don't believe we deserve to be here. We don't believe we deserve to be happy. And the reason why we believe that way, it's because we can't see ourselves. We don't recognize our self-worth. There is something at the base of who we are that tells us we are unworthy. But why? Why do we believe this? I think the Akashic Records can help us with this. So I'm going to open the record of the Divine Mother with the intention to understand the constant self-worth issue we have. Why do we believe ourselves to be flawed? Where does that come from? And what can we do to fix it? So let's begin. So the first thing I perceive as I ask to communicate with the Divine Mother on planet Earth are whales. What I want to ask is, why do we, as the human race, perceive ourselves to be flawed? Why do we believe there is something wrong with us? Why do we perceive ourselves to be unworthy of love? Because of all of the other expressions we are trying to be worthy of, like receiving money, receiving love, a car, a partner, a job, clients, friends, being understood. Those are just expressions of love. So why do we believe to be unworthy of it? I see when I ask that, it's like, let's say me or a person just doing like, there's something wrong with me. I'm wrong. That's why I don't receive. That's why I'm not blessed, because there is something wrong. And this person is somewhat pointing to their solar plexus, to the question, why do we perceive ourselves to be flawed creatures? The answer is because you were designed that way. You were designed with a default mechanism that makes you believe you are incorrect. You are flawed. There was something inserted in you, like a chip or something, in the design of you to make you believe through constantly sending waves of unworthiness. And that mechanism of design is in your pelvic zone, in your pelvic area, where your root center should be. And it is not that the chip or the programming or the mechanism is replacing that center. It's more like it's occupying a space from that center. It is inserted in that part of your body. That's why all of the things related to safety, security, and validation are often felt in that area. It really comes from a design perspective. It's not that you were built flawed, you were built perfect. It was just that the sense of perfection could not be allowed in you. Like, you couldn't know or believe or even see that you were perfect. This chip or programming or mechanism that was put in you was meant to distort the image you would receive every time you looked in the mirror or you tried to see yourself. Like, whenever you try to find yourself, this mechanism would activate and send through you waves of distortion so that you could not believe or see clearly who you were. It was necessary back then. It was part of the program or the process. You could not be allowed to see yourself or who you were. That's why you were implanted this energy, this program. I really see it like a chip, like a SIM card of a phone, something like that, or a SD card, SDI card or SD card, just a bit smaller, but that's how it looks. So what I'm asking now is there something we can do, or are we destined to eternally, to the end of time, live with this chip in us, and are we destined to constantly second guess ourselves, our worth, our value? So no, we're not destined to do that. What we need to do, if we want to get rid of that unworthiness wound, we need to search for that SIM card in our energy body. For some of us, that card is in our physical bodies. Some of us have it in our consciousness. And even though it was implanted in the pelvic zone or in the pelvic area at the root, it moves. Or for some of us, it could have moved. So this implant might not be in your root, depending on who you are and your experience in life. It might be in your womb area. It might be in your solar plexus area. For some of us, it's in the in the hip joint. For some of us, it's in the coccyx at the back of the spine. Some of us have it in the middle of our backs. For a few of us, it's in our chest. And even fewer of us have it in the throat or in the right shoulder. Others have a bigger chip in this part of their body. And for some, it's not a chip anymore. It's like a whole mechanism, like a device. I don't know if you remember the movie RoboCop or the X-Men. I believe there is an X-Men that has like some glasses or some sort of device in here. But it's not normal glasses. It's like a complete line. So some of you have that. Some of you have this full mechanism here. That's no longer a chip. It's like a filter. And some others of you have this huge, like, half mask. But it's not a mask because it's not in your face. It's like from the neck here up to your ear and this way, like a hat. But it's not a hat. It's made of metal. It's like how for some people with diabetes, they might have some apparatus in their bodies that is constantly either monitoring their insulin levels or injecting the insulin directly into their bodies. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's what I'm thinking of. That's just something similar, but in your head. Like, this device is constantly injecting, let's say, like atoms or information into your brain telling you are unworthy. And so for some others of you, is a whole structure that goes alongside your spine and comes all the way here to the base of your skull. And that also controls your movement in life, your expression in life. It controls how much you can obtain or how far you can reach, how far your voice or your impact can reach. And you know you have that one in particular because if you constantly feel like you cannot move like in life. Also probably can this translate into a physical symptom, but it's more like you always feel like something is holding you back. Like you want to reach for that goal, but something pulls you back and tells you, no, that's not for you, or just wait, stay here for a little bit. Like you see a person, you want to date this person and you want to make a move and someone tells you, no, just stay here. Like you will know you have this one in your spine when you constantly feel restricted in your projects, in your expression, in your awareness of people, in your interaction with others. Like if you feel constantly being pulled back by your mind, by something, you might have this thing in your spine. And so to stop all those feelings, all those sensations, there is some others of you also, there is a tube, like a plastic or latex tube that is sucking, literally, is implanted in your root chakra, goes all the way up, connected to what I can see is kind of a spaceship. And every time you produce emotions of worthiness, of personal power, of I can do this, this spaceship or this other place where the tube goes absorbs that energy, absorbs that power, and tells you, you don't, But because these other beings, let's say, are extracting your energy, are extracting this energy, they need it. So that's why even though you might sometimes initiate projects, initiate things, and have this outgoing expression, this hunger for more, this need to create, it shrinks almost either immediately or very, very soon after you have the initiative, and constantly, like your bursts of energy might last 2-3 days and then shrink again a week and then shrink again. Like basically you never finish projects. And that's because of this tube or syringe kind of mechanism that absorbs any outbursts of energy you might have in your root chakra or in your root center. And that, this goes through all of your centers really. So it's not that only absorbs the energy from that center, it absorbs the energy from everywhere. So even when you might feel excited about something or power, like you're in control in your life, any positive outburst or exciting big outburst of positive energy is almost immediately sucked out of you through this tube. And that's why those outbursts don't last. So the reason why we are being shown this, also some of you might have more than one, some of you might have the chip plus the mechanism in the back. Some of you might have a mix of 2 or 3 of the things I just mentioned. Some of you might just have one. But most of you watching this have one or the other. And several of you have more than one, including me, of course. So what do we do with this? How do we fix it? We need to want to get rid of it. We need to want to remove this. We need to want to have our personal power back. And it doesn't have to be hard. We need to start to recognize our personal power, not that we do have the power of removing these things. And we do have the ability to live a fulfilling life. It's available to us. We are just, at life through smoke and mirrors because of these mechanisms. So this is a little bit of a catch-22 situation or a chicken egg. We don't believe we can get rid of this because we are producing information that says we can't. It just takes once for you to truly feel in your power, and you will feel this. You can either feel it now, or you can just sit one day, trying to trigger that self of personal power and independence, and see all this for what it is really, just an illusion. The fact that we have these mechanisms is an illusion. The fact that we don't have personal power is an illusion. The fact that we need external validation is an illusion. The fact that we need somebody else to love us so that we can love ourselves is an illusion. Just realize that you have created this reality, these mechanisms, these chips for a reason. And you don't even need to know what reason. It's easier when you turn the tables and you say, okay, if that energy exists, if those mechanisms are there, it's because I put them there. There is nothing else controlling me. I am controlling myself through these devices, through these other beings, through these other energies. I am the one controlling myself through illusions, through mechanisms, through smoke and mirrors. I am the one who put this in here because of reasons. What reasons? It doesn't matter. What matters is that now you don't want to have this anymore. You don't need it. You don't need to believe you are unworthy. You don't need to believe you are controlled by something else or someone else, or that your life is in the hands of another. You don't have to believe that anymore. It's not in your benefit, and you are realizing that. You are realizing all of the illusions you have created to keep yourself small. The belief of low self-worth is just a mirage. It's a mirage you have created to avoid looking at yourself clearly. Long time ago, you were scared of your personal power. You were scared of yourself. You were afraid of who you were because there was so much potential there that you didn't know what to do with it, and you were afraid you would hurt someone else if you couldn't control it. So because of the fear of hurting somebody else, you decided to shut it. And the way you found to shut your power down was through inventing an external being, an external entity, another that could diminish your power, that could control you so that you wouldn't hurt you or others. That you created this reality. You created this control. You created this other power out of your own power. So you control it all. You control this. You control this mechanism. You control this other being. You control this chip. You control this reality. You control all of it. What you created and what you have decreated. You can do that. You can dissolve this energy. It's not hard. You just need to want. And you don't have to believe you're worthy. You have to believe you won't hurt anybody when you come into your full power. You won't cause harm to anybody. Being powerful, live through empowerment, is not harmful for anyone, especially if it's true power, true personal power, not control, not the power of fear, not through the power of fear or control or cheating. That's not true power. True power is different, is empower. Empowerment is true power. Empowerment is the possibility of helping others, helping yourself and helping others. Empowerment, true power, is aligned with the greatest good for all, not only yours. When you are truly in your power, you want to see others truly in their power too. You want to help them find their true power because you know the power true power has. True power is not military, it's not indoctrination, it's not control, it's not fear, it's not creating fantasies. True power is reality, is seeing clearly, is the ability to discern, to work with others in peace and harmony. So we should not be afraid of embracing our true self, of finding our true power. We created it all collectively and individually. We've created this world and this reality. Even the shackles that holds us back, we have created those too. So let's start decreating them. Let's stop creating those things. We don't have to believe anything. We have to know we are in control of our reality. We're in control of our lives. And the lack of personal power and the belief and the lack of self-worth, we've put it there. We program it thus. So we can stop programming it. We can stop producing chips to put in other people, to make them believe. We can stop making other people believe they are worthless. And we can start by doing that with ourselves. We put that in there. We created that reality. We put that belief in ourselves. We did. We can stop doing that now. We don't need to be powerless anymore. We don't have to be afraid of our power. We can embrace it. We can be powerful. And we can help others through that power. We can use it for the greatest good of all, not to enslave, not to control, not to oppress others. We can use it for good. We are capable of more. We can start. We can do that today. We can make the choice. Just as we decided to suppress our power, we can decide stop doing it. We can decide otherwise. It's our choice. We control reality, our personal reality and our collective reality. So let's start exercising that power.